Welcome to our weekly football card market update, coming to you every Tuesday here on the Sports Card Strategy feed on the nooffseason.com sports card network. I'm Paul Hickey, and this show is brought to you, of course, by nooffseason.com, the number one place to get all the information you need to make money flipping sports cards. Get a free 30-day trial today at nooffseason.com. The football card market is an interesting one here in mid-October. Let's start with data from the last 7 days and look at the cards that have sold the most. Jaden Daniels, his 2024 Score 302 base raw, sold 261 times in the last 7 days for an average sale price of $5.88. This raw card has not yet sold in a PSA 10. It has sold in an SGC 9.5 for $24. Very interesting. This card, the number one selling card, shows you the interest level in Jaden Daniels, despite the fact that Score, not one of the best releases of the year, for sure, from a investing perspective. CJ Stroud's 2023 Optic 244 base raw sold 146 times in the last 7 days for an average sale price of $6.91. Jaden Daniels, again, he's got four more cards from Score. This is crazy. His Score number 3 potential insert raw sold 120 times in the last 7 days for an average of $4.51. His 2024 Score a Treat green bats sold 111 times in the last 7 days for an average of $4.79. The Score number 2 35th anniversary rookie of Jaden Daniels sold 82 times for an average of $6.49. And his Score a Treat Orange Pumpkins, number 26, sold 79 times in the last 7 days for an average of $4.22. CJ Stroud's 2023 Contenders, number 40 retail raw, sold 76 times in the last 7 days for an average of $3.49. All right, let's go over to the top graded cards in the last 7 days by sales volume. CJ Stroud's 2023 Optic 244 base PSA 10 sold 65 times in the last 7 days for an average of $50.36. That's actually up 37.1% as the Texans are winning. That's up $15.12. Stroud's 2023 Prism 339 base PSA 10 sold 61 times in the last 7 days for an average of $71. And the PSA 9 of that card sold 51 times in the last 7 days for an average of $18.82. Now, for those of you who aren't familiar with the Sports Card Strategy Show, on Monday and Wednesday, we have a talk show format where we give you a lot of data and insights on how to help you make money flipping sports cards. Those are usually about 60 to 90 minutes. And then every other day of the week, we have a show like this one where it's about 10 minutes long, Monday through Friday, where we do a market update for a particular sport. If you're not familiar, I've been talking about Caleb Williams for about 18 months now, and I maintained that he was about to pop off. And what did he do last week against the Jacksonville Jaguars in London? He popped off. His 2024 Topps Now Draft D1 base was a print run of just under 25,000, but in PSA 10, there's only 2,731 of them. That PSA 10 sold 44 times in the last 7 days for an average of $45. That's up 8.6%. CJ Stroud's 2023 Donruss 339 base PSA 10 sold 36 times in the last 7 days for an average of $38. And Bryce Young, his 2023 Panini Instant RPS First Look in PSA 10 sold 36 times in the last 7 days. Get this, for an average of only $8.30. All right, let's take a look at the top football cards by overall sales price in the last 7 days. Peyton Manning, his 1998 Metal Universe Precious Metal Gems out of 50 in PSA 10, only a pop 2, sold on October 11th for $100,000. Patrick Mahomes, 2017 Contenders 303 Rookie Ticket Auto in PSA 10, sold on October 13th for $45,800. Brock Purdy's 2022 Optic Downtown Gold out of 10 in PSA 10, sold on October 8th for $20,000. Jerry Rice, his 1997 Metal Universe Precious Metal Gems Red out of 135 in PSA 6, which is normally how those PMGs grade, sold on October 13th for $16,200. Another $16,200 sale on the same day. Anthony Richardson, his 2023 Absolute Kaboom Horizontal Green out of 1, sold in PSA 10 for $16,200. And Brock Purdy's 2023 Absolute Kaboom Vertical Gold out of 10, sold in BGS 9.5 on October 10th for $14,000. Now, what I like to do on these market updates is I like to pull cards that sold 5 or more times in the last 7 days and look at the top last sale price. So this gives us an indicator of some of the hottest liquid cards in the football market by sale price. Patrick Mahomes, his 2017 Optic 177 base PSA 10, sold on October 13th for $1,100. The base Donruss of that card in PSA 10 sold on October 14th for $1,050. So interesting that there's only a $50 difference between the Optic PSA 10 and the Donruss PSA 10. It could be because the Donruss base PSA 10 only has a pop count of 1663, while the Optic has a pop count of 4602. So there's a case where pop count could matter. Anthony Richardson's 2023 Optic Downtown PSA 10 sold on October 14th for $1,050. That card has not seen too much of a dip, in spite of the fact that the rest of Anthony Richardson's market has seen quite a dip. The Donruss Downtown PSA 10 of Anthony Richardson sold the day before that for $832 on October 13th. And CJ Stroud's Prism Silver PSA 10, a pop 1901, is a card I believe should easily be over $1,000, only selling for $643 last sale yesterday, October 14th. All right, now let's take a look at the top risers by price change percentage in the football card market. The criteria here, it's got to have 10 or more sales in the last 7 days, so super liquid. It's got to be 2012 through the present, so ultra modern, and it's got to be graded. CJ Stroud's 2023 Contenders number 40 retail PSA 10 is up 107% or $31. Anthony Richardson's 2023 Optic Hollow PSA 10 is actually up 83% or $50. Anthony Richardson back on the rise, perhaps? Drake May, his 2024 Topps Now Draft base was a print run actually of only 57.32, only a pop 541 in PSA 10. That's up 60% or $23.21. Anthony Richardson's Optic Base PSA 10, of course, from 2023, the rated rookie, is up 52.4% or $10.31. AR back on the rise. Look at this. CJ Stroud's 2023 Donruss Base PSA 9, up 52% or $6. And the Optic Base PSA 10 of Stroud is up 37% or $15. Brock Purdy's 2022 Donruss Base PSA 10 rated rookie, pop 35.34, up 34% or $14. All right, now let's move over to the biggest fallers in the football card market. Same criteria. Last 7 days, Jordan Love, his 2020 Mosaic Base PSA 10 is down 53% or $43. Interesting. He's playing well, too. Justin Herbert's 2020 Absolute Base PSA 10 is down 45% or $9. And Josh Allen, in spite of his great play, his 2018 Donruss 304 Base PSA 9 down 37% or $27. Today's episode is brought to you by CGC Cards, the perfect place to slab your favorite sports cards. From their crystal clear holders to their affordable pricing, CGC Cards is the perfect stop for your sports card grading needs. Go to cgccards.com to start grading today. If you're a premium member at nooffseason.com, you get 20% off your CGC membership. So go to nooffseason.com and get that today. On October 12th, a Tank Bigsby 2023 rookie blue shimmer prism out of 25 sold in a buy it now for $89.99. Tank Bigsby, of course, the running back for the Jacksonville Jaguars, getting a lot of time. What's interesting about this sale is that it was timed well by the seller. It ended before Bigsby only got 7 carries for 24 yards against the Bears in London. The previous game against the Colts in London, Bigsby averaged 7.8 yards per carry, tallying 101 yards on 13 carries and 2 TDs including a Marshawn Lynch-esque touchdown run. Thanks so much for joining us on the weekly football card market update. I'm Paul Hickey. Don't forget to like this at youtube.com/Paul Hickey. Comment, share, leave us a 5-star review on your favorite podcast app. And of course, like I mentioned earlier, stay tuned for our Monday and Wednesday Sports Card Strategy Show full episodes and Friday's premium podcast at nooffseason.com. Get a free 30-day trial at nooffseason.com today to get our formula-based sports card rankings, sports card school, and unlimited advice from me to help you build your sports card investment portfolio. Thanks again to our sponsor, CGC Cards. Have a great day.